Jack the Ripper, the infamous serial killer who terrorized London's impoverished East End in the late 1800s, is the subject of a new book by author and historian Hallie Rubenhold. She joins us now to talk about him. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. So, this is not your typical serial killer story. This is not a story that has a neat little bow at the end. This is a story that still has people talking more than 100 years later. That's right. Well, what can we tell you about Jack the Ripper? What we do know is that on August 31st, 1888, in the Whitechapel district of London, police discovered the body of Mary Ann Nichols in Bucks Row. She was a 43-year-old prostitute who had been slashed across the throat, and her abdomen had been mutilated. Just a week later, on September 8th, Annie Chapman was found dead in a backyard also in Whitechapel. She had been killed in the same manner. Newspapers quickly realized these crimes might be connected, and by the end of that autumn, 5 women, Nichols, Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Editos, and Mary Jane Kelly, had been murdered within a short distance of each other. All were prostitutes living in the poverty-stricken East End, and the killer seemed to be targeting them. He displayed escalating brutality, leaving victims with deep throat wounds and abdominal mutilations. In some cases, organs had been removed. Letters sent to London newspapers taunting police and the public were written in red ink and signed Jack the Ripper. Although their authenticity is debated, the name stuck and became synonymous with the killings. Despite intense investigation by Scotland Yard, the murderer was never identified. Over the years, suspects have ranged from a local butcher to doctors, and even members of the British upper class. The case captivated the press, and Jack the Ripper became one of the first killers to gain worldwide notoriety. So what can you tell us about these crimes, how they were covered up, and how the investigation unfolded? Well, everything. I mean, it's all in here. It's a great read. There's so much that's come out since the initial investigations. And it's interesting to look at how the media covered it then versus now. You know, back then, sensationalism really got a hold of it. It got out of control. People were just trying to sell newspapers. Now, of course, we have the same sort of thing going on with podcasts and YouTube videos and everything else. But the basic facts are, they're still trying to sell it. You know, it's all about getting the listenership or the viewership. And I think that's human nature. And as long as there's human nature, then there will be sensationalism. What surprised me most about researching this case was the sheer volume of material there is on Jack the Ripper. Literally, there are thousands and thousands of pages of documents relating to the official investigation. And there are also hundreds of books written about Jack the Ripper. What's your theory? Do you have a theory on who Jack the Ripper was? I don't. I couldn't come up with a theory. If I had one, I would put it forward. Yeah, but it's not quite as interesting, is it? If everybody knew who he was, then we wouldn't be talking about it today, would we? Exactly. For more on this case and others like it, be sure to follow us on our channel. Thanks for watching.